Okay, let's talk about something most of us just, well, dread: performance reviews. But what if we've been looking at them all wrong? Today, we're going to dive into a totally different way to think about your goals and results. And trust me, it's not just about jumping through corporate hoops. It's really about taking control of your own career story. Does that question give you that little knot in your stomach? Yeah, you're not alone. The annual review can feel like this big, scary judgment day, and it's often full of unwelcome surprises. But what if we could actually turn it around? What if we can make it a productive, honest conversation about your growth instead of a source of anxiety? To make that happen, we've got to start by rethinking the whole process from the ground up. And the very first thing we need to look at? The old, and let's be honest, kind of broken model of how most companies set goals. So the classic way this works is like a waterfall. You've got these big, high-level company objectives that are set way up at the top. Then they get broken down and passed to different departments. And finally, those goals get sliced up even more and handed out to each person. It's a completely top-down, one-way street. When you see it drawn out like this, the problem becomes super clear. Goals start at the organization, the O, flow down to the units, U, and then finally land with the individuals, I. See how all the arrows only point one way? Down? There's literally no way for information to flow back up, and that's a huge, critical flaw in the system. All right, so if that old model's broken, what's the fix? Well, it's about getting away from those generic, cookie-cutter objectives and creating something way more dynamic and personal. We're talking about life goals. A live goal is just so much more powerful because it connects three things that really matter: what the company needs, what your team is trying to do, and your own personal career goals. It becomes a custom-built target, something that actually means something to you, not just a generic template that's totally irrelevant by February. Now, here's the secret to making success feel less random. For every single one of those live goals, you clearly define what success looks like at different levels. What does a basic job look like? What got good? And what would you have to do to really knock it out of the park and hit excellent? This one simple step takes all the guesswork out of the evaluation. It's crystal clear. And this right here, this is the most important part of the whole thing. It's a conversation. These goals aren't just thrown at you. You actually discuss them, edit them, and tweak them with your manager until you can both agree and sign off. It means you're an active partner in defining your own success. Okay, so you have these awesome collaborative life goals. Fantastic. But how in the world do you remember everything you did all year long without a last-minute panic? The answer is simple, but it's a game changer. You build a reading file. Think of it like your own personal portfolio of proof. It's an ongoing, living collection of your work, your contributions, everything you do all year. This file becomes the hard evidence you're going to use to tell your story. And look, it doesn't have to be some big, complicated thing. It could be as simple as this technical memo right here. You finish a piece of work that you're proud of, you save a copy, you drop it in the file. Boom, done. You're building your case one small win at a time. And the stuff that goes in there can be super varied. It's not just the big, formal reports. It could be a really significant edit you made to a wiki page, a super helpful post on a discussion board, abstracts for meetings, and yeah, of course, the more formal publications too. Basically, anything that shows your contribution belongs in there. Now, here's another really key part of this whole system. It's flexible. Because, let's be real, life happens, priorities change, projects get canceled, things shift. With this model, your goals are not set in stone. They can be renegotiated. And honestly, they should be whenever the situation changes. So let's see how all these pieces fit together. You've got your live goals set, your reading file is packed with evidence. Now you're ready to totally transform that year-end review and finally complete the cycle. See, this process puts you in the driver's seat. You're the one who takes your reading file and does your own self-assessment first. For each goal, you document where you think you landed, basic, good, or excellent, using all that proof you collected. Then you walk into that meeting totally prepared for a real data-driven discussion. And here it is. This is the big aha moment. Remember that first diagram where all the goals just flowed downhill? Well, look now. Your results, the things you actually did, they flow back up. From you, the individual I, to your unit U, and all the way back to the organization O. It's not a one-way street anymore. It's a complete information loop. And that upward flow of information is so valuable. It gives leadership real on-the-ground feedback about what's actually working and what's not. Your individual work literally helps the entire organization learn, adapt, and get smarter. So why did we just spend all this time breaking down what might just seem like another corporate process? Because learning how to do this is so much more than that. Being able to set measurable goals for yourself, gather proof of what you've done, and then advocate for yourself based on that evidence, that is a fundamental career skill. It teaches you how to define and communicate your own value, and that is absolutely essential no matter where your career takes you. And I'm not being dramatic. The source material for this doesn't pull any punches. It literally calls this ability a survival skill. In a world that's always changing, being in charge of your own performance and growth isn't just a nice to have. It's an absolute necessity. So, at the end of the day, this whole framework is more than just a process. It's a roadmap for turning that thing you dread, the annual review, into a powerful tool for your own development. The only real question left is, how are you going to use it to take charge of your own growth?